In this episode, we talk about why Tamil Nadu Governor R.N. Ravi is again at the center of a debate. We also talk about the Assam panchayat elections controversy. But first, we talk about Robert Vadra being summoned by the Enforcement Directorate. Hi, I'm Ichha Sharma, and you're listening to Three Things, the Indian Express news show. On Tuesday, businessman Robert Vadra appeared before the Enforcement Directorate in connection with a land deal case from 2008 involving his company Skylight Hospitality and real estate developer DLF Universe Limited. The summon comes amid renewed interest in the matter, which has been under investigation for more than a decade and remains politically significant.
This matter pertains to a 3.5 acres of land in Maneser's Shikopur village in Gurgaon.
This is the Indian Express's Varinder Bhatia, who reported on the case.
It was in February 2008 when Skylight Hospitality, which Robert Vadra had launched in 2007 with a capital of rupees 1 lakh, he bought this land from Omkareshwar Properties for a rupees 7.5 crore. A few months later in June the same year, he sold this land to DLF, Universal Limited, for 58 crore. So now the investigating agencies, they prima facie suspected that it was a sweetheart deal between Vadra and DLF, and he misused his political position to quickly get this land in his favor and then transferred it to DLF for developing a residential colony. But in this deal, he approximately got around 700% profit out of this deal.
Vadra has claimed the summons is part of political vendetta targeting him and Congress leader Rahul Gandhi, his brother-in-law. This is the second ED summon issued to Vadra this month, focusing on the same transaction which first came under scrutiny in 2012. Varinder, one of the early red flags in this case was a land mutation, reportedly done within a day. So can you tell us why is this considered unusual?
Actually, the plot was mutated in favor of Skylight Hospitality the very next day when they applied for it. And the title of the land was transferred to Vadra within 24 hours of the purchase. Otherwise, this process usually used to take about 3 to 4 months, even slightly more also in certain cases. But in this case, a month later, the Haryana government, which was then headed by Congress Chief Minister Bhupinder Singh Hooda, he gave Skylight Hospitality the permission also to develop a housing project on a major portion of this land, about 2.7 acres. So this speedy process in granting all the requisite permissions to the developer, it led to an immediate increase in the value of the land. Within a span of few months, you could say the price of the land increased from 7.5 crores to 58 crores or even more.
And in your story, you speak of IAS Ashok Khemka. So can you tell us what role does he play in this case?
It was in October 2012 when IAS officer Ashok Khemka, who was then Director General Consolidation of Land Holdings, and he was also holding the charge of land records from Inspector General for registration. He cancelled the mutation of this 3.5 acre land that Vadra had sold to DLF. He was of the viewpoint that as per the norms, assistant consolidation officer who had done the mutation of this land was not empowered legally to do this mutation. So while cancelling the mutation, Khemka in his order, he had mentioned that the village of Shikopur was notified under Section 14, Clause 1 of the East Punjab Holding, Consolidation and Prevention of Fragmentation Act of 1948 on August 5, 2011, and transfer of property during the pendency of consolidation proceedings without the sanction of the consolidation officer was prohibited. So the moment he cancelled the mutation of the land, he was transferred out of that department. In fact, he was rather transferred out of the department a couple of days earlier. But before relinquishing the charge, he cancelled the mutation.
Right, and you note that following Khemka's cancellation, the Haryana government formed a committee that gave a clean chit to Vadra and DLF. So what was the committee's reasoning?
Yeah, after Khemka cancelled the mutation of this land deal, it sparked a major controversy. And the Haryana government, they formed a panel of 3 senior IAS officers. It was Krishan Mohan, Rajan Gupta, and KK Jalan. And the government had asked this committee to look into the entire issue. But after conducting a formal inquiry and all, in April 2013, this committee gave a clean check to both Vadra and DLF. And rather, they accused Khemka of acting beyond the authority vested in him.
And Varinder, later the BJP government also constituted the Dhingra Commission. So, can you tell us what do we know about its findings and recommendations?
After coming to power, the Manohar Lal Khattar-led BJP government, they had set up the one-man commission headed by Justice Bhimraj. And on May 14, 2015, the inquiry report was submitted. I think it was a 182-page report. The commission submitted this report to the state government on August 31st, 2016. But the government never made the contents of this report public. A couple of months later, in November 2016, Bhupinder Hooda moved the Punjab and Haryana High Court and challenged the decision of the state government to set up this commission of inquiry. I mean, he basically challenged the sanctity of this commission. And on the first date of hearing in that petition filed by Hooda, I think it was on November 23rd, 2016, the state government gave an undertaking in the High Court that the report shall not be published. But sources say that Justice Dhingra in his report had recommended an investigation against Bhupinder Hooda, and the commission had also apparently concluded that his conduct allegedly comes under the purview of Prevention of Corruption Act for giving pecuniary advantage to close associates. Eventually, in 2018, both Bhupinder Hooda and Vadra and several others, they were booked for several alleged shady land deals, including this one.
Right. And so, what has prompted the renewed ED summons? And how does it connect to the broader investigation?
It was in 2018 when an FIR was registered against Huda and Vadra and real estate companies, including DLF and Ulkareshwar Properties. All these guys were actually allegedly involved in this landing. So the FIR basically was registered on charges of alleged criminal conspiracy, cheating, fraud, forgery, and also under the provisions of Prevention of Corruption Act. So although Huda, Vadra, and the Congress party, they had been denying any wrongdoing and calling it a political vendetta, but ED is suspecting a substantial money laundering and misuse of official positions for this land deal.
And interestingly, in 2023, the Haryana government filed an affidavit saying no rules were violated. So, how does that contrast with the ongoing investigation?
That affidavit was filed by Dr. Rajshri Singh, who is the then Inspector General of Police of Crime Branch in Gurgaon. The affidavit was filed in the Punjab and Haryana High Court in relation to the petitions that High Court was hearing regarding pending cases against the MPs and MLAs. So in relation to that, because Bhupinder Hooda is facing this case, so an affidavit was filed by this team of officers. And specifically on this Vadra land transfer case, the affidavit says that they had questioned the Tehsildar Manesar of Gurgaon, and they, in their affidavit, said that it was reported by Tehsildar Manesar that Skylight Hospitality sold 3.5 acres. This is the same land in question to DLF Universal on September 18, 2012, and no regulation oblique rules have been violated in the said transactions. And also, as per the report received from Tehsildar Wazirabad of Gurgaon, it was also stated that the land in question has not been found in the name of DLF Universal Limited. And the land still continues to exist in the name of Haryana Shehri Vikas Pradhikaran, oblique Haryana State HSILC.
And we're in the two commissions and FIR, and yet the case continues. Is there clarity yet on what legal outcome the ED is pursuing?
Of course, the ED would want to continue with the questioning of Robert Vadra and apparently probably Bhupinder Hooda and other officials who have been involved in the case. And they would definitely want to prosecute Robert Vadra or anybody else who is involved in this entire issue, which is why they're continuing investigating the matter and they have been questioning Robert Vadra for the last 3 days.
And so, how has Robert Vadra responded to the ED summons and the broader allegations in general?
Robert Vadra had been claiming innocence right from the very beginning and terming the entire case as a political vendetta against him. In fact, recently he has said that he was earlier also questioned by the ED in 2019. And he says that he had responded to all the points that ED had questioned him for previously also, and he says that he had submitted thousands of documents to whatever the ED wanted him to submit. That proved that there was nothing wrong in the entire deal, and he continues to claim innocence in this entire matter, and he says that he's being targeted by the investigating agency because he's speaking against injustice and he belongs to one political party.
And lastly, Varinder, where does the case currently stand legally? Is there a timeline or deadline for charges or trial?
The case continues both at the investigation stage and at the legal stage also. It's continuing in the courts of law as well as with the investigating agencies. They are also continuing with the probe. There are multiple litigations also being heard in the CBI court, the Enforcement Directorate court, and also in the Punjab and Haryana High Court. The ED has been pursuing the case in the High Court because they want a permission from the High Court to bring charges against Bhupinder Hooda in the same case. But apparently there is a previous order by the High Court wherein the proceedings of the Enforcement Directorate Court had been stayed. So that case is also coming up for hearing, I think, next month. So it's all in the initial stages yet.
And next, we talk about the controversy surrounding Tamil Nadu Governor R.N. Ravi. Tamil Nadu Governor R.N. Ravi has once again found himself at the center of a controversy. Last week, he had visited a government-aided college in Madurai. A video from his visit has surfaced where he can be seen asking students to chant Jai Shri Ram.
While paying tribute to the one who was a great devotee of Prabhu Sri Ram, I say and you say, Jai Shri Ram! 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 Jai Shri Ram!
A day after this incident, the State Platform for Common School System Tamil Nadu, also known as SPCSS Tamil Nadu, condemned his action. Tamil Nadu's governor had recently made headlines due to a Supreme Court order which said that Ravi's decision to reserve 10 bills for consideration of the president after they had already been reconsidered by the State Assembly was illegal and erroneous. In this segment, my colleague Niharika Nanda speaks to the Indian Express's Nikhila Henry, who talks about the incident and why Ravi's action have caused another controversy.
So, Nikhila, talk about the event that Governor R.N. Ravi had gone to attend and what happened there exactly.
So, the governor of Tamil Nadu, R.N. Ravi, had attended a public function in which he was supposed to distribute prizes for a literary event and address students. So, this was being held in a college in Madurai of Tamil Nadu, and he was attending as the chief guest of the event. From what we have seen through the video which was circulated is that you can hear Mr. Ravi, speak at length about, how students should progress. And it's a regular speech, inspirational speech, which he's giving, where he says that, this gives us the confidence that our roots are strong. It is there and we need to build on it. We take this as a movement forward, and he's generally talking about how students can improve on their academic performance and their lives and all that. And then there are some parts which are inaudible, and then he goes on to say, now repeat after me Jai Shri Ram, and then students respond by chanting Jai Shri Ram. So he says it thrice and the students repeat each time. So that's basically what is there in the video.
Right. And what did the State Platform for Common School System, Tamil Nadu, say about this, about these students chanting Jai Shri Ram after being prompted by the governor?
So the State Platform for Common School System, Tamil Nadu or SPCSS, basically said that Governor R.N. Ravi, he violated the oath which he had taken under Article 159 of the Constitution. So, as per the constitutional oath, he was supposed to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution. And by chanting the name of a god of one particular religion, he has violated that oath of preserving, protecting, and defending the Constitution, which is secular in nature, is what the SPCSS has been saying.
Nikhila, for the benefit of our listeners, can you tell us what exactly is SPCSS Tamil Nadu? Like, what do they do as far as schools and their functioning is concerned?
So this was an outfit which was formed to protect the interests of Tamil Nadu students and for raising their concerns, be it the pressing issues of students of Tamil Nadu. And they became very active during the NEET protests, the National Eligibility Entrance Test row, which was there, where the students of Tamil Nadu, at least a section of them, said that we do not want to write this national examination for entrance into medical colleges. Instead, we would want our class 12 marks to be considered for admissions to colleges in Tamil Nadu. So that had become a huge row in the state, with especially a student named Anita dying by suicide. And during that particular period, SPCSS was very active and they basically supported the students in their agitation. And whenever there is a students' issue, they have continued to use their platform as a place where, where students can voice their concerns. So that's basically what they have been doing.
But Nikhila, a lot of times we have seen that students in schools are made to recite prayers during their morning assemblies. So is that also something that the SPCSS keeps a check on or has a concern about?
Right. Yeah. So the SPCSS contention is not that prayers should not be held in any particular educational institution. That is not what they have said. What they have said is that the governor, being a person who has a constitutional office, is expected to be secular. And so he raising a slogan of a particular religious community is a problem, is what they have been saying. So there is no problem as far as I understand. The organization doesn't have any problem with schools holding prayers of any kind. But the problem is with a person who is supposed to be someone who has taken an oath under the Constitution, right? Speaking in a way which is not befitting of his office. So that's what the organization has been pointing out.
In the end, we talk about Assam panchayat elections. In the lead-up to the Assam panchayat elections, scheduled in 2 phases on 2nd of May and 7th of May, a political controversy has emerged over video featuring Digboy MLA and BJP leader Suren Fukan.
He blocked homostic door to Honasa. At chairman ভাগ কৰিব chairman authority main he chairman জন কোন গম পায় না আমুক আকো Suren Pawar chairman MLA মই এটা মই এখেনি নিটুকে দুই নিটু আছে ইয়াতে এহেতি পাবো বা কাউন্সিলর পাবো হনো
The Indian Express's Sukrita Barua reports that in the video, Fukan appears to tell a group of voters that government scheme benefits may not reach them if they do not vote for the BJP's candidate. The video was widely circulated on Wednesday and has since prompted a formal complaint by the Congress party to the State Election Commission. The comments in the video were interpreted by political opponents as a threat to voters, suggesting that access to state welfare schemes such as Arunodoy and ration card would be contingent upon supporting the BJP candidate in the upcoming panchayat polls. Fukan, in response to the Indian Express, clarified that the video lacked full context. He claimed he was criticizing a special local woman leader who he said had a record of corruption and was recontesting elections. According to Fukan, there was no threat involved and his intention was to communicate that as a local MLA, he would work to ensure delivery of welfare schemes. Sukrita highlights that the matter was brought to the attention of the State Election Commission by Congress leader and leader of the opposition, Debabrata Saikia, who submitted a complaint seeking action. Saikia alleged that the remarks constituted an attempt to influence voters by linking electoral choice with government entitlements, which would be a violation of electoral conduct. In his letter, Saikia stated, quote, Yesterday, Digboy MLA told some members of the rural public that if they do not vote for the BJP candidate, they will not be able to benefit from Arunodoy or any other beneficiary schemes of the Assam government. This is very unfortunate, but the Election Commission has not said anything about this yet. Unquote. The Assam panchayat elections are considered politically important as they are a test of party organization and rural support ahead of the state's next legislative assembly polls. The results of the election will be announced on 11th of May. You were listening to 3 Things by the Indian Express. Today's show was edited and mixed by Suresh Pawar and produced by Niharika, Nanda and me, Ichha Sharma. If you like the show, do subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. You can also recommend it to someone you think may like it, with a friend or in your family. This is the best way for people to get to know about us. You can also tweet us at Express Audio or write to us at podcast@indianexpress.com.